Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and I have another fun personal project today, and that is with the Alter Ego Artemis palette. I did make a video when this first came out. This is a dupe for the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette, but as you can see, at least to me, this color scheme is very jumbled. Like, my eye has to bounce around a lot to put together a look when I'm using it. If I'm using more than one shade, a lot of times I'll just use one of these two browns and kind of share that out all over my lid. But anyways, I did do a video similar to this with my ColourPop So Jaded palette for the same reason, in terms of not wanting to have to jump around to find a look in the morning. So today I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to depot all of these because they pop out very easily and rearrange them by color. And I don't know if I'm going to do that by rainbow, like all the yellow, orange, warm tones up here and then having more of the greens and blues down here. If I'm going to go from the top left corner into a gradient all the way down to the navy blues in this corner. So we will just see. I'm going to set this down, and just so the mirror isn't annoying, I'm going to put this little magnetic Tarte palette on top of the mirror so we can get to work. I always forget to say this in my video, but if you're new here and you like my videos, I would be tickled if you subscribed so you can stick around and see more of my upcoming content. And also give this video a thumbs up if you like these kinds of videos, and I'll definitely make more of them. So first, let's get to depotting these. I'm using this broken knife again, and it's because I did get a depotting tool off of Amazon, but the edge of it is not nearly as thin as it needs to be to get into the sides of the ColourPop magnetic pans inside their normal palettes, and not thin enough to get into the sides of these pans either. So if y'all have a really good recommendation for a depotting tool that's not just some old ghetto knife, let me know in the comments too.
I'm worried about the way I've been living. I'm worried that you'll look at me different.
So here are all of the shades depotted. I poked a hole in a couple of them, but that's to be expected in the process. So let me just move these palettes out of the way and we can take a look at these shades individually. I am first going to move these over more to the center and separate them by color and general vibe.
I'm worried about keeping you safe. I'm worried that I'm not that lucky. I'm worried that they never gon' love me. I'm worried that I'll be a joke. I'm worried that I don't have control. Don't worry, baby, don't worry. Go and get some sleep. Why you always in a hurry? You got bigger things planned for you, don't worry. You ain't gotta come to conclusions this early. Don't worry, baby, don't worry. Go and get some sleep. Why you always in a hurry? You got bigger things.
Alright, now we got some color families going on. I have just this random highlighting shade. I guess it's a little pink, but I know it's going to be in the top left corner of my palette. And then some of the tan beige bronzes, some of the more orangey tones, pinks, reds, and just neutral browns. Here we have some green, yellow, olive neutrals, and then along this bottom row we have some of the more bright greens and blues. Admittedly, I do not like these three matte shades because they're that kind of creamy matte, but the shade doesn't show up as rich and deep as it does in the pan. It's super bright. I made a whole video on this. You can go see. I'll link that video in the cards if you want to see a more detailed description and review of each of the formulas that is in this palette. Well, now that I have it separated out by color story, I think I will keep these green blues down in the bottom right corner of the palette. And I also probably won't really reach into this part of the palette that much. I do love this kind of grassy front lawn sort of green shade and the olive green brown tones. Those are probably my favorite among all of the different tones. So just a reminder that this palette is 7 by 4. So that is how I'm going to organize these shades into my new color scheme.
I'm worried about my father's health. I'm worried about being by myself. I'm worried I ain't doing too well. I'm worried, but I did it to myself, yeah. I'm worried that you don't need me. I'm worried that you're going to leave me. I'm worried that it won't work out, yeah. I'm worried that I'll never make it out, yeah. Don't worry, baby, don't worry.
Having some of these shades laid out next to each other, they look so similar. Like these two blues, super similar, and they also swatch similarly. There's these two, I can't tell which one of these are more green than the other one. I also have like these two dark browns that will look essentially the same. So another benefit of separating out a palette just by their actual shades like this, especially when it's a larger palette. This one has 22 shades, I think. Is that right? No, that is not math. 7 times 4 is 28. A lot of it does overlap. So it's kind of cool to see that more definitively through this exercise as well.
Why you always in a hurry? You got bigger things planned for you, don't worry. You ain't gotta come to conclusions this early. Don't worry, baby, don't worry. Go and get some sleep. Why you always in a hurry? You got bigger things planned for you, don't worry. You ain't gotta come to conclusions this early.
Okay, here's where I'm at with it now. I kind of arranged it with the, like kind of in rainbow, there's the reds, oranges on top, transitioning down into orange yellow, and then yellow greens to the olives and browns. And on the bottom we have more of the cool toned blues and some brighter greens. How do I like this? I can't figure out if I prefer having the like rainbow ordered rows, because when I look vertically, it's a little bit more disjointed. Although, I mean, this row looks nice if I went down that row, and over here on the very right, I have the more rich shades. Or do I want to do more of like a smooth gradient from the top left to the bottom right? So I am going to play around with maybe trying that and see if I like it better than this. If not, I'll go back to this and I will have had peace in my soul.
I used to take myself out on dates, open my own damn doors, pay for everything on my plate. Sometimes I'd even get the steak, cause I got it like that. Always had my own bag, never needed no man to rely on. Got 2 good shoulders to cry on. I was alright on my own till I fell, but it wasn't fate. And I couldn't tell at the time, but I was my own soulmate. It's like I forgot I was fine, let you treat me any kind of way. Now I'm free, you gotta celebrate. You couldn't see everything and stay. That I wasn't afraid to say, yeah. If I gotta choose me, I won't be afraid to. If I gotta choose me, I gotta do what I gotta do. When I love you, I lose me. Now I can't be attached to you no more. I like me better when I wasn't yours. I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back to who I was before. I like me better, I like me better, I like me better, yeah, yeah. I like me better, I like me better when I wasn't yours. I like me better, I like me better.
Ooh, okay, so here is my second kind of variation of possibility. I do like this better than the first option. So this is definitely the most likely contender right now. As I was organizing this round, thought I had in my head, or an idea for another possibility, is to just completely separate 1/2 matte, 1/2 shimmer shadows, because when I am putting together an eye look, I don't really think of the mattes and shimmers in the same way. They each have their own purpose. So if I'm looking for a shimmer, I can just go to like the shimmer side of the palette. Whereas if I'm looking for a matte, I can just bring my eye over to the matte side of the palette. But dude, this looks really pretty right now. So I'm kind of hesitant to break it apart again after all of the arranging I put into this one. But 3 is a magic whole number, so let's give this a third go. All right, I've split these into mattes and shimmers, and there are 13 mattes and 15 shimmers. And then within these, I will arrange them by color.
I gave you all that you asked of me. You like the view from behind, but you won't make an ass of me. That's why I'm saying goodbye. Hopping out my feelings, get to the money. Gotta keep it 100. Leaving you ain't really took nothing from me. So don't come looking for me. I'm that bitch and I have it. You forgot, but I haven't. You was just a no habit. So I'ma disappear like magic. I'm that bitch and I have it. You forgot, but I haven't. Now you wish that you
Okay, so I've organized the mattes. I'm having trouble like figuring out how I want to incorporate both of these browns. They're really similar anyways, but it doesn't fit. I can't arrange these in a color way that I like that has both of these browns next to each other. So I might just temporarily set that brown down here. This is the darker one, I think.
You had it, but all I gotta say back is,
If I gotta choose me, I won't be afraid to. If I gotta choose me, I gotta do what I gotta.
I'm kind of pleased with that. Yeah, so this little mustard matte is going to be hanging off the edge over here. Now let's arrange my shimmers.
When I love you, I lose me. No, I can't be attached to you no more. I like me better when I wasn't yours. I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back. I'm going back to who I was before. I like me better, I like me better, I like me better. I like me better, I like me better when
I think that's it. Yeah. We have all the warms, reds up here, transitioning down into the more neutral / orange, orange bleeding into the yellow dandelion to greens, and then all the way down to like, you know, these blues. And there are some more olive shades, cool tone shades down here too. Yeah, this is my final version. I'm going to put these back in the palette now so we can see what it looks like. It's so like, we have such a nice little rainbow going on over here with all the shimmers, red down to blue. And the mattes, you know, they're organized by tone-ish, kind of. We have more of the bright tones over on the left and some of the more neutral in the other two rows. Good job, Sally. I'm so much more excited to play with this palette now that I rearranged it like this, because seeing all the shades in a completely new place just unlocks something different in like your creative, oh my gosh, what are words? It just unlocks new inspiration for creativity, and it also allows me to see what is actually in this palette, since all of the similar items are kind of together, and it's just in a way that makes more sense to my mind. What do y'all think of how I organized it? So I did it in 3 different ways. Which one did you like best? This is obviously the one I like best because it's the one I'm ending on, not just because I did it third. As always, if you like these kinds of videos, give me a thumbs up and tell me in the comments so I know, and I'll make more of them. I hope y'all have a great day. This is really the end of it. Thank you so much for watching and for keeping me company on these just days in general. Remember that y'all are my treasure. Find the beauty in every day, but most importantly, be kind to yourself. I will see you in my next videos. Bye!